With Wednesday recently being released on Netflix and there being a ton of characters that we were introduced to that attended Nevermore Academy, we saw friends and enemies of Jenna Ortega's Wednesday being depicted. They each brought something different to the show and had a fair amount of screen time that allowed them to shine in their own right. They had powers, over-the-top personalities, and relationships with the main character that contributed to the underlying plot. However, some were better than others. So with that, I thought I'd rank every main character in Wednesday from worst to best. So let's get into it. Here is Wednesday Season 1, every character ranked. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Number 14, Rowan. The character coming in last place on this list is a character who only appeared in one episode of the show, and that was Rowan. Whilst he was an individual who was troubled due to the drawing that his mother created depicting Wednesday destroying Nevermore, he did contribute a lot to the show in his small time on screen, as it essentially kick-started the whole journey that Wednesday went on. Rowan had an extremely cool power of telekinesis, and I would have loved to have seen him use it more, but it just wasn't meant to be. Due to this, he has to come last on this list. Number 13, Gomez Addams. Gomez Addams was a character that was drastically different to the depiction in the Addams Family movies. He still had the over-the-top, expressive way of loving his wife, but that was about it. He didn't really feel as slick or as smooth as the one in the movies. Whilst it was slightly different to the original, the depiction did provide a sense of originality in his appearance and backstory. He didn't provide much to the show other than the origin of how he ended up protecting his wife, but that was what was ingrained within the character's core, so it stayed true to his nature. Number 12, Ajax. A character coming close to the bottom of this list is Ajax, and it's for similar reasons to Rowan. We didn't get to see him that much in the show, however we did see a little more of him than we did Rowan. His love arc with Enid was something that was entertaining to watch, and it was good to see them get together at the end as they did truly like each other and want to be with one another. With him being a Gorgon, he had a very cool power that we only saw him utilize on himself, so I do hope that we get to see more of it being utilized in a powerful way in the next season of the show. Number 11, Xavier. Xavier was a character that we did get to see quite a lot of in the show, but I feel he didn't really bring much to the table. He was relatively moody quite a lot of the time, and even though he'd never been with Wednesday in a romantic way, it felt like he was acting hurt over the fact that she chose to be with Tyler over him, when they didn't really have a history anyway. For a main love interest, I didn't find him that likable, and I think that went against him a lot when it came to this ranking. Xavier has the ability of being able to turn anything that he draws onto a canvas or a piece of paper to come to life in reality. So again, like the others, it was a very cool power, just something we didn't really get to see enough of. With him looking as though he wants to be with Wednesday next season, we could see him become slightly more likable if his feelings are reciprocated. Number 10, Morticia Addams. We didn't get to see that much of Morticia in this show, but I feel Catherine Zeta-Jones really embodied all that was there in the originals and also in the Addams Family movies to depict the character of Wednesday's mother perfectly. Number 9, Miss Thornhill, aka Laurel Gates. Miss Thornhill was essentially the main villain in the show, and she was in disguise for the most part of it. I loved the fact that they got the actress who played Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family movies to appear in this show, and also have such a main role, not just a cameo. Whilst I thought the two different sides to the character were great, and the performance of being able to switch from being extremely nice to pure evil was done really well, with her fate being unknown following the season finale, I do wonder if we may see her appear again in the new season. Number 8, Principal Weems. Principal Weems was a very well-performed character. She was a shapeshifter and had the ability to be able to transform into anybody that she pleased, as we saw her do moments before she died when she transformed into Tyler to witness Miss Thornhill reveal what she'd done. Despite being quite tough and hard on Wednesday, she did care for her deep down, and ultimately believed her when it mattered. Even though we saw the character meet her fate, I do wonder whether or not it would be possible for her to return. I hope she does, but I'm not sure whether I can see that being the case. Number 7, Tyler. Tyler was the main love interest in this series, and as luck would have it, he turned out to be the monster in the series too. Whilst there was all this guessing as to who was behind the identity of the Hyde, it turned out to be none other than the person who was right in front of Wednesday herself. I enjoyed watching the relationship form between Wednesday and Tyler, as it did feel like there was a genuine bit of care that Wednesday held towards somebody, something we never really got to see. It also helped contribute to the twist of him being the villain, with him looking like he destroyed the van at the end of the season and broke free. I feel this won't be the last that we see of Tyler as the Hyde. Number 6. Eugene. Eugene was a character that I really enjoyed watching on screen. He brought something extremely different when compared to every other character in the show. He was almost the comic relief amongst the darkness that was surrounding everybody else. He was Wednesday's friend, and we saw her exhibit a sense of care and responsibility over what happened to him when he was attacked by the Hyde. He was funny, caring, and his power of being able to summon bees and command them to do what he wanted was a very cool power that I didn't expect. Number 5. Uncle Fester. Coming in 5th place on this list is Uncle Fester. Whilst it was always going to be different to live up to the depiction that Christopher Lloyd delivered in the Addams Family movies, this version was slightly different, but it kept to the original traits that we were familiar with. He was one of the only people that was able to put a smile on Wednesday's face, and we saw how close their relationship was. Like Eugene, he was a character that brought some comedy to the show, and despite not using his powers or skills that much, we saw just how powerful he could be. With his electricity-emitting powers and his agility, fighting, and speed, he showed glimpses of how cunning of an individual he was, and just how much of a force he would be to come up against. Number 4. Bianca. Bianca was a character that I feel we went on a slight journey with, an unexpected arc for certain. With her starting off as somebody who was almost as bitterly cold as Wednesday, I thought these two were set to clash in a way that I thought there would be an ongoing feud. However, they turned out to be allies when it mattered most. Bianca assisted Wednesday when it came to defeating Joseph Crackstone in the finale, and was by her side when it mattered. Her relationship with her mother showed that there's most certainly more than what meets the eye, due to the cult-like group that her mother runs in exploiting people with the use of their siren-luring abilities. I'm intrigued to see how this character is going to develop in the next season. Number 3. Enid. Coming in 3rd on this list is Wednesday's best friend and roommate Enid. As somebody who was the polar opposite to Wednesday, it was a surprise when they turned out to be as close as one could possibly be. Enid's personality was something that was truly exhibited by what was on her half of the room: color. She brought happiness, joy, excitement, and color to a show that was predominantly black and purple, and filled with darkness. Her journey of not being able to showcase her power of being a werewolf and then transforming was something that was surprisingly emotional and wholesome when it did occur, along with her romance with Ajax. She was a great supporting character that I feel balanced out the darkness of Wednesday. Number 2. Thing. Thing as a character is one that I'm surprised even made it as high as it did on this list. Despite only being a hand, it was able to exhibit emotions in a way that I've never seen on screen before. The special, caring relationship that it had with Enid in being there for her when she needed somebody, and the placing of its hand on Enid's when she was transforming back into a human, it showed the level of care and understanding that it had for her. Thing was humorous, entertaining, fearless, and was prepared to go above and beyond for anybody that mattered. Number 1. Wednesday. The character that's coming in at the top of this list is none other than Wednesday. Wednesday was the face of the show, and Jenna Ortega delivered a performance that went above and beyond by portraying a mostly emotionless, bitterly cold individual that at points exhibited upsetting care, allowed the weight of it to hit twice as hard when it did occur. She provided moments of adventure, happiness, sadness, upset, and humor, and she was one of the best characters to be depicted in a Netflix show for a long while. So, there you have it. Wednesday Season 1, every character ranked. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Who was your favourite? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.